everybody, thanks for listening to shit.
Thanks for listening to shit.
I don't remember what to say. Thanks for listening. That's the end of the episode. Damn.
That's how we close out the show today.
Thanks for listening to shit.
Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week.
We're done? Okay. Good show, guys.
You're listening to the Good Stuff Podcast with CK Helms, Zach Bandit, Ryan Mullins, and Jeremiah Elliott.
Hey everybody, welcome to episode 31 of the Good Stuff Podcast, brought to you by Blind Bandit Productions. To find more about us, go to blindbanditproductions.com. As always, I'm CK Helms.
I'm Zach Bandit.
I'm Ryan Mullins. I was waiting on you, Jeremiah.
Jeremiah's last.
I'm Jeremiah Elliott.
Wow. Jesus Christ.
I think this is the worst start to an episode we've ever had.
This is worse than when we all tried to do the intro together.
Wow. Anyways, guys, it's a packed show here today. This is we got a lot of Comic-Con news today. San Diego Comic-Con was this past weekend, and dear God, so much things come out of that. I literally had such a hard time just finding everything, and I had to take out so much stuff, and we still got jam-packed worth of stuff, so we're going to try to go through everything really quickly. Real quick, though, I guess I'll ask everybody, how was everybody's week? Zach, how was your week? See anything new or watch anything new?
I mean, I saw The Lion King.
What you think, man? Yeah, I forgot. We talked about that last week. Was it a good movie?
Oh yeah, it was pretty good. I'm seeing like IGN said something about it being a beat for beat like remake, but like I don't know how that can be. Especially some of the scenes were changed and then they added new scenes, so it's not really a beat for beat remake. But
so they didn't have all the animals standing on top of each other.
In the I Can't Wait to Be King song or whatever. They didn't have like a friggin' circus, like all the elephants standing on top of each other. Like,
oh, I'm pissed. That's the only thing I wanted to see. I'm not going now.
But if they're calling it a beat for beat remake, it's gonna have those parts, right? So it didn't have like elephants standing on top.
Did it have elephants standing on top of Zazu?
No,
I'm not watching it. Then.
I know I'm not going.
Yeah, but overall was a good one, or?
Yeah, I liked it. It was one of my favorite ones. I think probably below Aladdin. So
cool. Ryan, how was your week? Did you watch anything new? Play anything new? Anything?
I got to watch Far From Home last night.
I saw that you finally got to see that. Jeremiah, have you seen that?
I have not seen that yet.
Okay, so try not to say any spoilers, Ryan.
Spoiler alert.
No,
I don't even. I'm at the point I don't care. I'm not gonna be able to watch it for like a year because I've got a damn pregnant diabetic wife who doesn't want to go to the theater. So I've given up hope.
Spoiler alert: Tony Stark is still dead.
I thought you were giving a spoiler alert to my wife having diabetes. Don't worry, everyone. It's gestational, so it'll go away. I'm not making fun of an actual diabetic.
Spoiler alert! It's
Spoiler alert.
Actually, a prequel.
Overall of Far From Home.
Okay, there was two scenes that my roommate was there with me that he literally looked over at me and was like, "You're really excited about that." I was the end credit scene. The one where they not the Nick Fury end credit scene, the Mysterio end credit scene.
Yeah, I gotcha.
The fact that they have J.K. Simmons actually playing J. Jonah Jameson again, I have so much to say about that, but I'm going to keep my mouth shut.
I'm happy about that.
I am so happy about that.
That was such a good, well-kept secret until that movie came out. God.
And I just blurted it out in front of Jeremiah. I believe that they're opening up the Spider-Verse because of two things, and I'll just say them. They introduce the sword base in space, and they reveal J.K. Simmons as J. Jonah Jameson. That to me leads into two things that I think I know where they're going with Spider-Man 3, simply because of those two. That event the event of sword base in the comics led into something else, and it wasn't until they revealed the sword base in Spider-Man that they introduced Madam Web, which opens up the Spider-Verse. So I believe that Spider-Man 3 is going to be about the Spider-Verse, and it makes me really excited.
Okay, so you like the movie. Where would you rank it in your MCU movies?
MCU movies, for me, it's Endgame, Ragnarok, and then this.
Cool.
Ragnarok
Jeremy?
was just my ultimate favorite movies of all time.
I finally saw John Wick 3 last night.
Okay.
Thanks to someone at work that still uses uTorrent. So, but it was a really good copy, and it was a really good movie. I know that this is like 2 months late, but no, I enjoyed it. I think it's the worst of the John Wicks, but it's setting up which will be the best of the John Wicks for the next one.
Thank God. I'm glad somebody else gets to take the Keanu fall from now on.
Except that he didn't say that he didn't like Keanu or anything.
Yeah, I never said it was. It's hard to say that it's still an amazing movie. It's just the worst of the three.
I want to be clear about this. I never said I don't like Keanu Reeves.
I don't know, man. We'll have to roll the tape back.
All right, Nick, play the recording that we have.
Okay, that's right. All right, cool. Cool, man. So that's glad that you like that.
Yeah.
Personally, this week for me, sorry, did I cut you off from saying something?
Oh no, that was it. Just I've been doing that, and then just doing other videos for the fire department. So it's been weird. I've been getting more film work being a firefighter than I ever did trying to get film work.
That's kind of strange, but kind of cool at the same time, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, for me this week, I watched Batman Hush, the animated film of the classic Batman Hush 12-issue storyline. And which, by the way, full disclosure, I'm a huge fan of that storyline. It's my top 5 Batman stories, probably my top 5 superhero stories of all time. So the movie had a lot to live up to in my eyes. But I was really super excited about it. This is the 13th movie in the DC Universe animated the animated universe that they have. It's the third continuity that they have. The 13th one. They've been building a great story with all the movies together and stuff. Each one of them are kind of loosely connected, but they reference other events that have happened and stuff. And all the voice characters are the same and stuff like that. The voices were good, animation was good, storyline. Now, here's the thing. It wasn't a bad film, okay? That was great. It was fantastic. And when I think of it as a standalone, they did a fantastic job of taking 12 issues and trying to mold it into an 80-minute film, which takes a lot, and they did a really good job. I thought it was amazing up until the last 15 minutes, where I spent the last 15 minutes just pissed off watching it. And I was just mad. And then so it left a bad taste in my mouth for the entire thing. But as I said, it's not a bad movie. It's just that, here's the thing, is that I feel like certain things shouldn't be changed. Now, I feel like you can do your own interpretation of stuff, seeing as, we have Gotham Knights that we've done, all of us here, and it's our own interpretation of Batman, correct? But I feel there's certain key elements of the Batman mythos that we kept in. There's just certain characteristics of people that we kept in, certain identities that you kept in, and I mean stuff that can't be changed. Yeah. And I'm all for, which I would have been if they had done their own interpretation and done something different and then tried to adapt the 12 issue thing, but made it their own storyline wise, would have been perfectly okay with that. But the reason why I was so mad is because Hush, who is a certain person, and in the story, in the comics and everything, who's one of my favorite villains, by the way, and somebody I've always wanted to bring to live action, they completely made him a different person. And that's just something that I think is wrong about it. But it was not a bad movie though, so it's just that I just don't think that they should change people's identities, and make it somebody else. And it just was kind of off ball, and it was kind of weird that it was like this other person.
It sounds like you viewed it as like the lifelong film issue of the two things that any people involved in film hate are change and the way things are. And that they had to find that medium.
Yeah, I mean, it would just been like if you had Nightwing, and then the entire time, and you're watching something with Nightwing, and the entire time he's just Nightwing, right? And then at the end, you found out it's Damian, not Tim Drake. Or not Dick Grayson, or it's Tim Drake, not Dick Grayson, or anybody besides Dick Grayson. Yeah. It's not Nightwing. It's not that he killed off, like in the Injustice games, Damian that did become Nightwing, but he also had killed Nightwing, and then he became Nightwing for a bit, then he went back to being Robin. But so Dick was dead. But this, they just made it completely different person. And it was just weird to me.
Well, I'm sorry your week was so rough.
It was, man. I was a rough week because of this. I wasn't able to get through this a week. But anyways, let's get into it, though, guys. Comic-Con, as I said, happened. We got to see Marvel release their Phase 4 plans. And we're going to be talking about that more at the end of the show. But specific from that we want to talk about here at the beginning is that in Phase 4, women are becoming more prominent in the MCU.
Oh, wait. Definitely. What's this section of the show called?
The opener.
I've been waiting 2 weeks for that bit.
I never told you that you're a national treasure.
I'm just so mad you didn't say I had to bring up the opener.
I'll tell you what. I'll somehow correct this in editing.
No, keep it just as it is. It makes it so much more pathetic.
Anyways. So we're talking about women, how they're becoming more prominent in Phase 4 of the MCU. The reason why we're talking about it is because it's somehow become a controversy, especially on Twitter, because everything's a controversy on Twitter. But there is people just pissed off that women are becoming this huge deal in the MCU because I guess, these are more people that are, same people that are mad that Captain Marvel is Carol Danvers and stuff like that, or that there's diversity in the MCU. They're mad about that,
They're superheroes, not superheroes.
They think they're pampering, I guess, to I don't know, what are some good words for this that people think? I mean, they're trying to please a certain crowd or something like that.
There's that, and then I think other people are mad that eventually, like, it's that same stupid fear that like male fragility has of, oh, pretty soon there's not going to be a Superman at all anymore. Like that's kind of the thought process, I think, is what's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
but
stupid.
I feel like there's more than one reason why they're doing this, and you have to remember that more than 50% of the fan base of the Marvel Cinematic Universe is female. I mean, the comic books, yeah, it's obviously a male-dominated market, but the MCU, the Marvel, just the movies, their big ticket sales go towards women because of all the, I mean, let's face it, all the hunky men that they have playing these characters walking around shirtless. and that was one of the big sell points of Aquaman was,
Momoa,
the ticket sales on Aquaman were mostly female. And
Yeah, I get what you're saying about that, but the thing is that these people are thinking that's what they're doing. But the thing is that if they read a freaking comic book, they'd realize that all these characters that they're griping about, like Jane Foster being Thor, this is in the comic books, people.
Yeah, this is straight up from the comics. This is Thor's character transition.
Jane Foster first became Thor in 1970 something. So
yeah.
It's
I'm all for it. I've been waiting a long time to see some of these female characters get their chance.
It's gonna be great because one, Natalie Portman is a hell of an actress, so she's gonna knock it out of the park.
Zach, what are your thoughts on it?
I just gave my thought.
That's all? You said one thing about Jane. That's his thought. Jane Foster was Thor in the 70s. Boom.
His thought was just a fact.
He said there.
Oh man, you're a good one, Zach. I like how you just your words of wisdom sometimes just bring out the heart of the show.
I mean, I don't want to add anything that's not gonna be like, because like you're saying what I already agree with, so why would I just repeat what's being said?
That's a good way to look at it, Zach. Just say all the above.
All of the above.
There you go. Everything's said.
Hey.
I don't think we need to give too much time to these people because all they do is gripe. I saw someone on there, an article being posted by something today, and this person, they talked about...
These people, do you mean the complainers or do you mean the female characters?
The complainers.
Okay.
The reason being, if you would listen to what I was still saying, yes, the people complaining much time. Fine, I will specify for you since you would let me finish. You would understand what I was saying. Anyway, this article that I had read, and this person had basically was griping. Apparently, he was not a fan of Captain Marvel being Carol Danvers, even though she's been Captain Marvel for like 7-8 years in the comics or something. Then was talking about Nick Fury being played by Samuel L. Jackson and changing from the original Nick Fury. And I was like, okay, have you read the Ultimate Comics back in 2001, whenever this actually happened? Not part of the MCU. Because they said that basically the MCU was pandering to people and they were going to lose fans and stuff like this. I don't know. But
because they made Nick Fury black?
Yes. That was one of their things. Because they were talking about women, because they were talking about Jane Foster's Thor and Captain Marvel being Carol Danvers. And then they went even to go to say that, they used Nick Fury being black as an example in what they were talking about. And I was like, this person's never read a comic book in their life.
Yeah, but what I'm getting out of this is that we all know who these people are that are complaining about this. It's that same type of person.
Yeah.
That the straight white male is all that should ever be on screen type of person.
And while we're on this subject, if we have any listeners that disagree, I'm just going to clarify something real quick. Captain Marvel was not a DC Comics creation. He was from a different comic book company that was absorbed by DC.
And whenever about I'm sorry.
No,
go ahead.
I'm just giving these people who want to complain about the Captain Marvel being female thing, I want to give them a clarification. And whenever he was absorbed by DC, they had immediately started calling him Shazam. And then Captain Marvel, through the Marvel comic books, they made an agreement with DC that they would like the Captain Marvel name since it was the name of their comic book company. And DC agreed to it. They said it made more sense since they had already started calling him Shazam instead of calling him Captain Marvel. And at the time that Captain Marvel was created, he was not actually a comic book character. He was a on-screen character for old black and white serial films, and he was made to compete with Superman. And DC Comics did not need two Supermen. So DC openly agreed to do this with Marvel. And it wasn't like some big lawsuit or anything like that. It was simple put, DC needed to change that character up anyway because they acquired him in an acquisition. So all these people saying that, oh, Marvel screwed over DC. No, they didn't. They didn't at all. DC was fine with this. DC made the choice to agree to do it. It's a bullshit argument that didn't get brought up until the late 90s. And it just always never made sense to me that people want to say, oh, well, Captain Marvel is actually a man. Yeah, but Captain Marvel is not actually a DC character. So at the end of the day, it just doesn't make sense that you're defending that whole thing based off of the fact that they, at one time, called him Captain Marvel.
Hey,
you know?
Hey, Ryan.
Yeah.
And you're being real passionate about this.
I'm really passionate about it.
There's a couple of things here, though, I want to say. One, Captain Marvel, as in Marvel character, that like Carol Danvers, actually was a Kree person named Captain Marvel. So that's like where you brought DC up. I have really no idea. I don't know where that came from. So I was just really confused there. But you were so passionate about it. I just wanted you to get through it all. So I really didn't want to correct you on anything. So
I'm just amazed he stayed awake through his rant.
I think you took something and made it something about something different, got confused with something, but was an actual Captain Marvel before Carol Danvers. But you were right on the Shazam being owned by a different company before DC bought it. But they didn't start calling him Shazam until like 4 or 5 years ago. Not even that, because in the first 2 seasons of Young Justice, they were still calling him Captain Marvel, and now his name is Shazam. So it was just like 3 years ago that they started calling him Shazam.
I'm sorry. So what I was saying is that like it's not like they stole a character.
No. There's always been a Captain Marvel on both DC and Marvel, but I don't know what that has to do with the women that we're talking about in Marvel. So let's get back to that.
Okay.
But
you guys are freaking nerds.
You did a good job. You did a good job, though. So, guys, women are perfectly okay with in the MCU. We'll talk more about that later on in the show. But real quick, we're going to give our top 5 top 5 Marvel females. It can be any Marvel females. They don't have to be superheroes. They can be villains. They can just be regular humans. They can just be civilians. It doesn't matter. So we're going to start with you, Ryan. We're going to start with Mr. Passion today.
Yeah.
Ryan, why don't you give us your top 5 Marvel females?
My number 5 is the Invisible Woman, Sue Storm. I think that she's a highly underrated character for what she's capable of doing. Her abilities definitely outscale a lot of the male and female characters on the X-Men. And she's not. I've always felt like she's not been used to her full capacity in the comics, and I would like to see in a Fantastic Four movie just some of the abilities that she possesses being really, really brought to life. My number 4 is Jean Grey. She's transitioned so much in the comics and in the 90s cartoons. The Phoenix Saga is still to this day one of my favorite storylines ever told about a comic book hero. It was I remember literally waking up early on Saturdays as a kid just so that way I could go in there and watch Fox Saturday morning cartoons to watch the Phoenix Saga. My number 2 is Black Widow. She was an integral part of merging all the superhero teams together, and without her, and you know, not just, I mean, she doesn't have any superhero ability. She's just a highly trained fighter, and she fights side by side by giant green men who could crush her instantly if she made one wrong move, and she still faces it every day. My number 2 is Jubilee. Jubilee, she was especially in the 90s cartoons and in the comics, Jubilee was a critical part of bringing the emotion and making sure that it wasn't always just about superhero fights. It was more about family, who you have with you, and she was always able to, whether or not it was actually her or just the transition of the storyline, she was always able to bring it back to the human element of family, love, compassion, and I feel like she brought a lot to the storylines. Essentially, she was the Rogue from the movies. You know, the person that Wolverine cared about, that everybody cared about because she was new and she was young and she was scared. My number 1 is Aunt May. Aunt May, she was not a superhuman. She was not anything like that. She just always was there for Peter, no matter what. It didn't matter what Peter was going through emotionally, physically, or anything like that. Aunt May always stuck by his side, and it gave Spider-Man a reason to fight whenever he had no other reason to fight. Because he would do whatever he had to do to keep Aunt May safe. It wasn't until more recently in the comic books that Aunt May found out about him being Spider-Man, and in all the older comic books, it was just one of those things that she knew that that Peter was off doing something and just staying busy, and even without knowing that he was a superhero, she was always just there for him. That is my top 5.
Awesome. Jeremiah? Hello?
Sorry, I had my mic muted while
Oh,
he was
you're all
talking.
good.
Sorry. Yeah, I started. My list is not as in-depth as his, with not as much passion. But
Well,
my
he's
number
Mr.
5...
Passionate.
I know. My number 5 is also... Well, I say also, but Black Widow, because kind of similar reasons. I love watching a character with no real powers other than good training keep up with actual superheroes. It's always just fun to watch. My number 4 character is not as high up as Ryan's, but I also like Aunt May. Aunt May she's just something special. Now, what really have me put the Aunt May character on the list as a Marvel female had to have been the Spider-Man game, because her character in that was just a lot more in depth with the knowing what Peter was doing, and to have such an integral part of the story arc near the end. That's it. I loved her. Number 3 is Captain Marvel, but only because I love watching people like make overpowered characters work in the current setting. And it's really fun to see what challenge that someone with so much power can have to make it look like they're struggling against. So that's my number 3. Number 2 is Storm, X-Men Storm. But only because when I was growing up, I thought it would have been the coolest power to control the weather. It just was always something that I wanted to do as a kid. And my number 1 Marvel female character has to be Jessica Jones, because I love dark and gritty, and I am in love with a kind of a Captain Marvel thing of like, what can you do to someone who is basically invincible and can take anything down, and they do it right of being dark and gritty, going after her emotionally. And so that is my top 5 list.
Awesome. I'm getting mine. Number 5 for me is Scarlet Witch. I'm a huge fan of Wanda. I've loved her in all iterations that I've seen her in. MCU, even though I was hesitant on Elizabeth Olsen being cast as Scarlet Witch, she has done a fantastic job. Number 4 for me is also Aunt May. Just think she's a central character to Spider-Man mythos, and I think the Spider-Man the animated series was a big thing for me, and her role in that, and then also, as you said, Marvel Spider-Man game, she played a pretty significant role in that, and so in current comic book storylines, pretty good too. So number 3 for me is Jean Grey. I'm not really too much of an X-Men fan. I did watch the X-Men animated series from the 90s. We were kids and stuff. Jean Grey was my favorite, and I love the Phoenix Saga the most out of that. Fortunately, that didn't translate well whenever, as far as movies go. But it's okay. I still like the character, and hopefully one day there'll be some type of movie redemption for that saga, or at least her in general. I don't know. Number 2 for me is Black Cat. A lot of people, big on the whole Spider-Man MJ romance, and that's pretty much, the romance of couples to look at towards comic book history. I always liked when Spider-Man was with Black Cat, and just anytime Black Cat's around, Felicia and his relationship it's kind of like a Batwoman or Batman and Catwoman thing type of relationship to it, and that's the best thing Black Cat, Catwoman, the best thing to compare it to, and I just enjoy their interactions and stuff like that, and I enjoy her character arc, especially. And another thing from Spider-Man the animated series that I really enjoyed. So Black Cat. Number 1 for me has to be Miss Marvel, not Captain Marvel, Miss Marvel, and that is the Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel. She's a newer character. She hasn't been around but few years, maybe 7 or so. She's an Inhuman. She was infected by the Terrigen Mist to get her powers. She's got powers kind of like Mr. Fantastic does. But what I like about her character is that she's basically like a female Spider-Man in a way. Not that she has spider powers and stuff like that, but the fact that she goes through high school and you get to and all this stuff, and you get to see more of her dealing with her personal problems as much as being a superhero as like a side thing. And I think that's why there's a lot of similarities between the two of them that make me like the character, I guess. And so that's my list. Zach.
All right, Zach, go ahead. Okay, guys. All right, my number 5 is Aunt May. Obviously, a lot of this stuff's already been said, but basically, she kind of stepped up. Well, her and Uncle Ben stepped up when his parents died, and then once Uncle Ben died, she kind of took the role as the matriarch, and then always been there for Peter. And my number 4, Jean Grey. I always loved Jean Grey in the Phoenix Saga, and pretty much all my top 5 were X-Men, because pretty much grew up on X-Men even before Spider-Man. Like, the X-Men was pretty much what got me into Marvel. And then have Rogue. I always liked Rogue. And her power, she pretty much zapped Captain Marvel to gain her flight pretty much permanently and put Captain Marvel into a coma. Well, that was actually back when she was Miss Marvel, though. But and then my number 2 is Storm. And just like Jeremiah, I always thought it was cool that she could control the weather, and I always wanted that ability. I would use that ability now since it's so fucking hot. Probably just make it rain all the time. Or make a snowstorm in the middle of summer. But yeah, she's always been probably, I think she was actually one of the first real, like, prominent black female Marvel heroes in the whole Marvel mythos. She eventually goes on to marry Black Panther, and so that's pretty cool. And hopefully that'd be kind of cool if we saw that in like the MCU once they bring in the X-Men, is Storm like getting together with T'Challa and stuff. Then number 1 for me, Scarlet Witch. She's probably one of the most powerful people in the whole Marvel mythos. I think she can bend reality and do a whole bunch of different shit. So that's my top 5.
Awesome. Cool. All right, guys, let's get release-wise. We got on tomorrow, July 26th, Friday, depending on when you're listening to this, the movie Once Upon a Time in Hollywood comes out. This is an anticipated release among us, I believe. We all pretty much liked the trailer when it came out. We had talked about it on the show before, so I guess we don't really need to talk too much about it. But I just want to see if everybody's going to go see this. If you're going to see it in theater, if you would see it in theaters, or if you would see it on a Super Tuesday, or do you wait for home release? What would you do, Zach?
Wait, what was the question?
Okay, so Once Upon a Time.
Will you go see this big movie night, or?
Oh, you were talking, but I didn't know you were talking to me, so I just kind of phased out there for a second.
Yeah, it's so hard to understand when someone says, "What do you think, Zach?"
I was like spacing out and staring at the ceiling. I think I almost died, but I mean, I think I would probably. I mean, I'll try to see any movie on Super Tuesday just because it's cheap. But yeah, I mean, it's a movie that I think I would probably pay the whole fare for because I mean it's Quentin Tarantino and his pretty much all his movies are critically acclaimed and beloved. So yeah.
Yeah. Ryan, what would you do?
I'm definitely gonna go see this one in the theaters. It was I saw the trailer for it, the extended trailer for it last night, and I mean, anytime you put big name actors like Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio together, I mean, it's those actors aren't going to get involved in something unless they at least thought the script was good. And I've been, I mean, I've always been looking forward to seeing them two grouped up together in a movie. Just those two actors in general. Like Zach said, it's a Quentin Tarantino movie, so it's going to be good. But the trailer that I saw for it last night really sold me on it, and I'm definitely going to go see it at the theaters.
All right, Jeremiah, what would you do here?
Oh, this has been like my waiting for movie of this summer. It's Tarantino, and two, as an actor, it just seems like a movie that would be amazing to watch, to see I don't know, I guess you could say parody on it. So I know that I stated earlier about my movie issues, but I'm going. She can come. I don't care. She wants to see it, but I'll watch it twice when it comes out on DVD. She's not gonna roll up off that couch and go to the theater. I do love my wife. In case she's listening, you're nice, and but you are very pregnant.
I took Lacey when she was really pregnant. I believe I think she was pregnant when we went and watched Justice League, and she fell asleep. But it could just have been Justice League. I don't remember.
I think I fell asleep during Justice League.
No, she's equally as excited for this movie. It's like the one that we're both on the same level of, like, we're gonna go, and we'll set up the end seat so she can pee 9,000 times and not disrupt anyone. And we got a plan. We got plan in motion. God forbid she goes into labor in the theater. I've delivered 2 kids in my career, and I don't want to deliver my own because I want to keep all that. I want to keep all that nice for me.
When's the due date?
It's October 3rd, but it's a while.
A movie October 2nd.
Yeah, no, it's a while. It's
I was like, is it a risk of happening? I thought it was pretty late on.
It's not any kind of risk of happening. I just have been so damn tired because she's at the point in her pregnancy where she can't sleep, so I can't sleep because she just kicks me. My own fucking unborn baby kicked me the other day when she was like, talk to your daughter. And so I like leaned in and I was like, hey there, little baby. And then she kicked, and it kicked me right in the fucking eye. And so I'm going to be a great dad. Anyway, yeah, I'm going to go see this in theaters. We're going to find a way. I'm going this weekend or next week sometime, but I'm going to go see this in theaters. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood looks like an amazing movie.
I'm definitely going to have to go see. I want to go see this in theaters too. I mean, I've been waiting for this, and it's totally not my normal type of movie. But I mean, whenever we first saw the trailer, I even said that from the beginning, that this is totally something I want to go see. And maybe it's just the talent involved in it. I don't know. And it's Tarantino. I mean, it's going to be a good film, and just maybe the premise of the movie. Plus, Harley Quinn Smith is in it, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, tons of people are in this movie. Dear God, the cast is so good. But just it looks like a great movie, and definitely so you got 4 go see this movies. Go see the movie. Go see the movie, guys. Go see it.
Go see it.
Go right now.
If you don't.
But yeah, so let's get into trailers, and God, there's a ton of them. Let's start. Yeah, I know, man. Let's start here. At this It Chapter 2 trailer, and
You're gonna start with me, aren't you?
actually, I was going to start with Ryan, but if you want to start, you can. If that just makes you feel better.
No, Ryan can go ahead.
No. Let's go back to you.
No, Ryan. I mean, yeah, it's like the first one was fantastic to me. Like I almost liked it better than the original. So I'm excited for it, Chapter 2, and hope. Like I've heard rumors that they're turning it into like they might make more. So I mean, that would be pretty cool if they made like more just to add to the Stephen King mythos.
Okay, so they would be adding just like stuff that hasn't been written, I guess. I don't know.
Something like that, maybe even a prequel. I don't know what. I just rumors at this point, I guess. But
Okay.
yep.
Cool. Ryan is actually muted. I don't know if he went somewhere.
I'm here.
Oh, okay.
I had to sneeze.
Cool.
I went to go see the first one with a group of friends, and the same group of friends has started a group chat with me on Facebook, and made sure that I was going to be there. We're all going to go see it the Saturday after opening. I'm really excited about it. I didn't really watch a lot of horror movies growing up as a kid, but It and The Stand were two movies that I definitely watched as a kid. And I never really had like that fear of clowns thing, and It didn't make me have a fear of clowns, but altogether it is a really, really good story because, you know, it can be whatever you are scared of. And that ideology is actually just like that alone is scary, that no matter what it is that you're scared of, he can use it against you. And I've been really impressed with the remake. Chapter 1 was actually a pretty good movie. And I'm really excited to see part 2.
Sweet. Jeremiah?
I love the I don't know. We're in that same situation, but the first one of these remakes, It Chapter 1, I guess you could call it. It was awesome. We watched it at the station one day, and that's kind of how I feel about this. Is like I don't watch really horror movies in the theater because I like to create my own setting at home to watch them in. So that's probably what I'll do with this one. But it looks awesome. If it holds up to the way that the last one was, then it's going to be amazing because it was very, very well done. I'm still pissed though because I'm ready to see an updated version of The Langoliers, which is one of my favorite Stephen King stories. For those that don't know, that's about the one where people are trapped in an airport and like no life exists anymore. It's a really good story. It's very interesting. But yeah, go watch it if you want. I'm not going to go see it in theaters because I like to snuggle up with a blanket and a nice warm cup of soup. I don't know. I don't drink warm things. And watch it in my own way. But
whenever you said that you were going to set the mood, you like set the mood for it, I was like, is he going to like put like kill an animal and put blood around? Like, what does he mean by setting the mood? Like, what is he doing?
Oh no, I masturbate to horror, so like lavender candles and yeah.
Awesome, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Zach does too. That's cool.
I masturbate to everything.
I quit this podcast.
All right, guys. Well, I didn't watch a trailer because I haven't seen the first one, so I wouldn't really know what's going on. And horror is really not my genre anyway. And y'all said plenty of it, so I'm just gonna move on if that's cool with you guys. So the trailer for Jay and Silent Bob Reboot came out, and we will start with Ryan on this one. Ryan, what did you think about the trailer? Did you see it?
Yeah, I did. I thought interesting that they're just completely rebooting those characters, especially since they were. I mean, it's the same actors playing it, but it's those characters were a critical part of almost all of the late '80s, early '90s Kevin Smith films. And
Well, they're not being rebooted. It's just called reboot
oh,
because
I know but I'm
Just go
really
back.
happy that they're bringing in a lot of the old actors from the Jay and Silent Bob movie, like Ben Affleck and
I
stuff.
can't believe they got Affleck.
and that they're bringing in a whole new slew of super celebrities, and it looks like it's definitely going to be a funny movie, and I'm all for it.
Yeah, Jeremiah.
I'm down for it. The only real Jay and Silent Bob movie that I've like watched and been like, I don't know, into was probably Dogma, and I'm excited that those characters are coming back. They're funny. They make it work, but I'm not a massive fan, so that's kind of I don't have much to say on this one.
Okay. I really like the Kevin Smith movies. I'm really excited about Jay and Silent Bob reboot. God, they've got so many people in this movie, like new people, and then digging through all the past movies and bringing. I can't believe they got Ben Affleck because, like Zach had said, Kevin Smith and Ben Affleck apparently had a falling out, so apparently they fixed it or something. I don't know. What's that girl's? I can't remember the girl's name that's in Clerks 2, but she's in the movie as well. The girl who plays Claire in the MCU
Rosario
Netflix shows.
Dawson?
Yeah, Rosario Dawson. That's it. Yeah. She's in the movie too. But it was pretty funny. And they're doing a tour for the movie. And I know they're going to be in like St. Louis and Memphis and Dallas and stuff. They're just going to a bunch of different theaters, and you can watch the movie with them and then talk to them. They'll be doing a little panel afterwards. So I thought that was pretty cool. Nowhere in Little Rock no in Arkansas though for us. Zach, what did you think? I mean, you're probably the biggest fan, I guess, out of all of us for Kevin Smith movies.
Yeah, one of my favorite movies is, of course, Dogma, and then Jay and Silent Bob, the original one. Like, I think I was about 12 when that came out, and I just remember there was this theater right across the street from me, and they almost never had a ticket taker. So I would just go in there, and I would just walk right in and just watch movies. And so I watched Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. Must have been about 5 times for free. And just imagine a 12-year-old sitting there by himself watching like some fucked up movie. So.
All right, good job, boys. We have the confession.
Excellent. Record this.
FBI, open up!
You own blah 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 theaters. Like, this was back when you're 12, so what was it, like $4 to go see a movie? $22!
Yeah, so if you guys want to go rat me out, it's the Regal Cinemas in Puyallup, Washington. You can go tell them, but I know a guy who used to sneak in there all the time.
Oh my God! Like you gave us the place name and everything. You're done. You might as well go ahead and send us $50 over Facebook because we're going to talk to them.
Go ahead and put the handcuffs on yourself. It's over.
But
Are you super excited about this trailer though?
yeah, I'm pretty excited for the new movie. It's nice to have a bunch of callbacks to the older movies, and then also Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, like Jay's girlfriend, and then I think Harley Quinn Smith plays Jay's daughter.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah, so I'm pretty excited for it.
Awesome.
He's excited for it because it brings back his
it brings back memories of his criminal childhood.
Of his own crime
for
wave.
I'm going to go sneak in to this movie.
I was about to ask you that. Are you going to sneak into the new one just to like nostalgia purposes?
Yeah, exactly.
The weird thing is that if Kevin Smith heard about you being in jail for sneaking into his movie after you snuck into it 6 times during your childhood, he'd probably pay your bail money.
He'd also probably put you in the next movie.
So Kevin Smith, if you're listening, yeah, put me in your next film. Jen, Sam, Bob. I can't think of them all.
Put me in your next film that I will also sneak into.
That even though I'm in it, I will still sneak into it. All right, guys, let's get serious for a moment because we're here at the second horror movie trailer that we have. This one I did see, and it scared the absolutely shit out of me. It's probably going to be the scariest movie I've ever seen in my life. I'm terrified actually to talk about it, but I had to put it on here, and that I'm gonna let Jeremiah talk about it first, and that is the trailer for Cats.
Yeah, I actually had to double check the list when you said horror movie, and then I saw it and I went, oh yeah. There's a post that I saw which pretty much explains everything that I feel about this trailer, and that is the way that non-theater people view Broadway shows is being realized as this is how everyone now views this movie. So now we're having the same existential crisis as people who like Broadway shows and stuff that everyone else already has. And oh God, it looks horrible. Oh God, it looks horrible. I hate the show. I hate Cats. It's so stupid. The only good thing that came about it was the bit from the latest season of Kimmy Schmidt of that Cats isn't a real Broadway show. It's got famous by people faking it on stage of just anyone that wants to be an actor. And that's how I feel about this movie with anyone that wants to try to do CGI can come on down and make a cat, and then they're like, is this a cat? And someone said, I don't fucking know. Here, I guess so. And so now you've got Cats, the hit Broadway musical that sucks, coming to a screen near you to fuck up your life.
First of all, how did they get Ian McKellen to fucking get into that movie?
They got so many people in this movie. They got Idris Elba, freaking Jennifer Hudson, Jason Derulo, Taylor Swift.
Jason Derulo. You said his name wrong.
I have this theory that the
James Corden.
The creation of the Cats were actually the first iterations of Sonic.
Did you see that?
They were like, well, we have these 3D renderings that just aren't gonna work as Sonic, and we gotta do something with. Hey, you know what? They kind of look like cats.
Hey, did you see that comment that I posted from the YouTube video?
Oh,
where the guy was like, "Hey guys, maybe the Sonic design wasn't as bad as we thought."
Oh yeah, I saw that.
It's like this is the best. This is the best comment.
Like, I made a comment too. I was like, my cousin posted the trailer, and that's when I first saw it. I said, I would really like a Cat in the Hat movie like this.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Apparently you just can't do movies about cats that talk.
It wouldn't be as creepy if they did it like in the style of maybe like The Lion King, where they're like actual cats. But it's just creepy.
God, yeah. It's so creepy. It's bad creepy. I don't even know how they got all these people to do it. Like, especially Ian McKellen. Like,
there's the one scene in the trailer where that cat kind of like looks at not directly at the camera, but like past the camera, and you just get that full focal of the face, and like you just feel a shudder go through your body.
Someone's phone's ringing. Yeah. Must be your other phone.
Yeah.
y'all go ahead. I'll be back.
Cool. I was actually about to say the same exact thing, but we'll keep on. All right, guys, let's move into the next one if that's cool with you guys. So
Yeah.
Top Gun Maverick got released. I did not expect this from Comic-Con, but that was pretty cool. They didn't have the Danger Zone song, so I was kind of thrown off there. Someone fixed it on YouTube though, so it's totally cool now. I'm not really a huge fan of Top Gun. To be honest with you, I don't think I've seen that entire original movie.
I've never actually seen the original Top Gun, but it's not because like I think it might be a bad film, but I just don't like Tom Cruise. So it's just like most things Tom Cruise is in, I won't watch because he just really annoys me.
Hey man, Jerry Maguire was a good movie.
Show me the money. I only watched that because my mom made me go when she went to see it in theaters.
It's a classic
Because
movie.
she couldn't find a babysitter, so she made me go see Jerry Maguire in theaters.
The original Top Gun was a cheesy movie, and
Cheese?
huh?
Is it mozzarella or American?
Extra sharp cheddar.
It was the equivalent of a late 70s, early 80s beat movie that happened to have airplanes.
There better be another montage beach volleyball scene, or I'm gonna be pissed.
Apparently, they're doing it like super serious this time.
Ugh, gross.
Hey, I'll be right back, Jeremiah. You're in charge of continuing the show.
All right.
Why, Jeremiah?
How far ahead do y'all want to skip?
Start at
When he gets back, we'll just be at the closing sequence.
You do know that I hadn't even left yet, right? Look, I was literally sitting here for just a second. I was about to get up.
It's a podcast.
All right. Yeah, no, I don't know. I don't care too much about Top Gun.
Let's move on to The Witcher.
Yeah, I like that.
Hey, the trailer for that was actually really good. I've seen a lot of the behind the scenes stuff of him getting into costume and character and stuff like that. And like, I think that he's going to do, it's Henry Cavill, right?
Yeah.
I think he's going to do an amazing job. I think he's going to do better at this than he did at Superman.
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought.
Yeah, it looked pretty cool to me. Like, it seemed kind of Game of Thrones-ish. So it was, I love the video games.
Well, you have to remember that the video games pretty much open up with him at an orgy.
Yeah. And Zach, you did say you masturbate to everything, so
I do.
Here'd be some Henry Cavill fat material.
I'm really excited for this. The only thing that I'm worried about is like you can make any trailer look how you want it, and the biggest thing I can say is to go watch this pretty big video. It's called Harry Potter as a Teen Romantic Comedy, and it is just shots from actual Harry Potter movies, but it's edited together with like upbeat, happy music, and you would think it's a teen rom-com. And so that's why I shared the trailer, and I was like, please be good, because if they can make it, if the show looks as good as that trailer did, then I'm all in.
Yeah, it's one of those shows that I'm definitely at least going to watch the first 2 episodes to see how it's playing out. I don't like just watching the first episode of a show and judging it on that. I learned that a long time ago not to do whenever Red versus Blue first came out. Because Red versus Blue, if you just watch the first episode, you're not going to like the rest of the show. If you just watch the first episode, you're going to judge the rest of the show off that. But it actually has a really good storyline after that. And
that's what I'm gonna do with this. I'm gonna at least give it the first two and watch it, but it's definitely one I'm at least gonna give a try to. It looks really good.
Yeah,
Of course.
I think I don't know if I'm having issues or not, but there was a lot of choppy there.
I think I'm having Wi-Fi issues.
Okay, I didn't know if it was you or me. That's what.
I didn't hear any choppiness on my end, so I don't know.
Okay.
What's next on our list?
Next up is the Watchmen trailer. I didn't watch it, so I can't talk on this one.
We kind of already touched on this in the earlier part of the episode, but
That's true. Yeah.
All in all, it's looking like it's gonna be a really, really good show. We may have discussed this just on the earlier part of the call, so I'm gonna bring it back up. That it is definitely a sequel. I'm glad Nick's not here on the on the podcast to hear me say that. But it's the director and the writers have said that they consider the movie a critical part of the storyline, and it is definitely canon. They're just touching on different parts of history. They're going to go, they're going to do the same thing that they did in the movie, go tell stories back in time, tell stories current day, and switch back and forth. And one of the cool things is that they are keeping true to the storyline that it'll be Nixon was president. Nixon got reelected. He died in office. Then Ford took over. And then Ford ran for president against Robert Redford. And Robert Redford wins the presidency. I'm really excited to see how they're taking this little twist on history. Man, it looks really, really good, and it looks really dark, and I'm all for it. I'm here for it. I've been excited to see this, no matter what it was going to be, whether it was going to be a reboot or a sequel or whatever. But
yeah, but it's
one
a
of the
sequel, isn't it, Ryan?
It is a sequel. But one of the things I am really excited about on this is that we definitely see in the trailer the Al's flying vehicle that he uses in the movie. And you see that and you just automatically know they're going to continue that storyline. And it made it really exciting for me.
I'm just excited that it's a sequel and not a reboot.
Of course he comes back now. We were supposed to get past this part before he
I had been sitting here for a couple of minutes just waiting to say that as soon as you were done talking.
Oh. He didn't really have to go. He just wanted to see what was going to get said.
Actually, no, I had to go take care of my kids.
You don't have kids.
Trust me, I got kids.
Have kids.
Did everybody say something about Watchmen?
Everybody
Yeah.
but you.
Oh, well, I mean, I'm sure that everybody said enough, so I'm good.
Apparently, when you leave, we don't go by calling names. We just all talk about it.
Well, I mean, that's fine if I just really only call out names just so that Ryan knows an order. So, hey, but if you got trained, then that's all good for me. Let's finish this last trailer with the last trailer of A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, which is the Tom Hanks Mr. Rogers movie. I just watched the trailer this morning, and I think it's going to be an amazing film. I absolutely loved it. Tom Hanks is fantastic. I mean, of course, I know that it was Tom Hanks, but he did such an amazing performance. Is going to be doing such an amazing performance of Mr. Rogers that I'm sure once you watch the movie that you're going to get lost in it. I can already tell that's what's going to happen when I watch the movie, is that I'm going to be lost in his
Sorry.
Yeah. His his portrayal, his impression of Mr. Rogers is just like so spot on in the trailers.
For sure. And then I think that's going to be really the main thing to take from that is just his portrayal of Mr. Rogers. And so but I guess we're going to learn. I don't know if the story based, like, I don't know exactly what's going to happen in the movie or in the movie, but I'm assuming whatever is happening is stuff that actually happened in real life.
Spoiler alert, Mr. Roger dies.
It said based on a true story, so I'm assuming.
Yeah. So I imagine the storyline, I don't know exactly what happened that we're going to see. I'm guessing maybe whenever the people come to him, I'm assuming that he's just doing his show and it's not like nationally syndicated yet. Assumption. And then like it will see it become like a national syndicated show, I'm assuming, getting on PBS or whatever.
Yeah.
So
I'm genuinely excited to see that movie. Mr. Rogers was a big part of my childhood. And Mr. Rogers himself, like he dedicated so much of his time and energy into guaranteeing that there was good, sufficient government funding into public access and public education. And I mean, hats off to the man for spending his life making sure that children weren't just educated, but children were also taught that emotions are okay.
Wasn't he also a badass like veteran too?
I don't know. I'd have to look that information up. I don't really know his past before Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was like a veteran or something.
Like he in the army or something?
Yeah.
Cool. I didn't know that. Jeremiah, did you know anything about that? Did Jeremiah have to leave or something?
He didn't say anything.
No, I keep muting my fucking mic. It's a little switch, and I keep hitting it with my hand on my table. I knew he had service because I watched the HBO documentary about him.
Oh, that's right. They did a HBO thing too.
Yeah, and so all I can say is to watch that before you watch this movie, so you can get a more accurate depiction of probably how everything's going to be portrayed as far as the story arc goes for him.
Cool. I'll have to check that out. I had forgot they had done that.
Yeah, it was awesome too. I think it was called "Won't You Be My Neighbor."
Yeah, I think that's what it was called. Because I remember before that came out, I remember that there was two things being done: a documentary and a film. So, all right. So let's go. Let's move past the trailers, and we'll get into the news. And we're gonna try to not spend too much time on stuff because we've already gone a little bit. We're already an hour long on the show.
Shit, yeah. I gotta get to Central before 4:00. So
yeah, so we'll try to not spend forever on, and just try to, because there's a lot of news bits. So once something has been said, and I mean, if you don't have anything really to add that hasn't already been said, you can just say, I'll just ask whatever anybody's add.
I'm down.
Right. Yeah. Cool. So we'll start with the first news. It's Marvel news, which is how we'll begin and how we will end. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 7 got announced as going to be the last season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I don't know who else watches Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. besides me currently. Right now they're on Season 6. It's a fantastic season. I really like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I guess it's no longer connected into the MCU, though. This season has definitely told me that. So the next season will be the last one. It's kind of a bittersweet moment for me personally, but I feel like it's a good time for it to go because I'm not for sure where else they could go with the show. And now that it is not connected to the MCU anymore, I don't really care for it to still be on air. because when it was connected, it was really good. Like when Winter Soldier affected the show and stuff like that, and just other things that happened during the films that had was affecting the show. It made sense, and now that it's not, it's not bad. It's just I don't think it's necessary, and they should concentrate more on what is connected, and like, which obviously they're going with a Disney Plus, so it made sense that the show is being ended. I would like to see these characters moved on to other stuff, specifically Quake and Coulson and Belinda May, and then Fitzsimmons. Definitely to see them brought into other MCU projects, that'd be cool. Does anyone else watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. currently, or?
No, I watched one season, and then it's one of those things where I forgot to keep watching, so.
The first season wasn't like the best for me. I had to power through it at the urging of Ben, and but once you got through to near the end of the first season, then the second season and stuff was much better of a show, I think.
I think that's what happened to me. So knowing that this is the last season that's going to happen, I'll probably pick it back up and catch up for it.
Anybody else?
Yeah, Jeremiah probably. That I'll just I kind of stopped watching during, I think, third season, but knowing that this is the last one, I'll probably power through it.
Ryan?
I've honestly not been interested in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. from the beginning. I'm sorry.
Did you ever watch any of it?
I've seen like 1 or 2 episodes.
Yeah,
I tried giving it a chance. It just didn't pick up the storyline fast enough for me.
Yeah, I get you.
Sorry, fans.
No, it's all good. We're going to move on, though. Halloween 2018 is getting 2 sequels. Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends. I think one's coming out next year, and then in 2020, and then the next year, 2021, you're getting the Halloween Ends. Zach, do you know much more about this? Do you have more to say on this? I mean,
I don't know much about the new movies that are coming out. I'm assuming that it's just going to be a trilogy that ends with Halloween Ends. I'm assuming Michael Myers is going to finally die or something.
I haven't seen the 2018. Isn't it that, aren't they all just connected anyways?
The 2018 one is a sequel to the first one, and it retcons all the other sequels.
Okay.
So it's like Halloween 2 and more and higher than it happened. So just one Halloween 2018 and then so on.
So basically, as far as continuity wise, by the end of it, it'll be really 4 movies.
Right.
Okay. So I know Jamie Lee Curtis is in the movie, correct?
Due to like contractual issues, but
which is why that it makes sense at first, because like everybody thought of the sequel, like a sequel to the most recent like continuity, and because Jamie Lee Curtis's character, I'm pretty sure, dies in one of them. So
yeah.
I know she was in Halloween, and then I seen the Halloween H2O movie, or I think that was what it was called. She was in that one. She didn't too.
Halloween H2O, I think she died at the beginning of Halloween Resurrection.
Oh, okay. That was done after H2O, right?
That was after H2O, yeah.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay.
And I've only seen the older Halloweens on this. I haven't watched the new ones yet. I'm not really that interested in the Mike Myers story.
Watch Halloween Season of the Witch.
I didn't say all of them. I said I've seen some of the older ones.
Is that like a comedy like one?
I thought we were talking about Halloween Town.
No, I just say Halloween 3 Season of the Witch was a movie that did not have Michael Myers in it at all. and it's not part of the continuity at all. It was created because John Carpenter wanted to make Halloween an anthology film series. But he had already made Halloween 1 and 2, so Michael Myers was already a thing. So Halloween 3 didn't do very well. But it was its own story.
Because of the sequel, Michael Myers couldn't have been a one-off.
Right.
Ah.
So, yeah. So it kind of failed miserably. I think it might have done a little bit better if they kept it into a different, like, they just called it Season of the Witch and not call it Halloween Season of the Witch. But
Cool. Or if they didn't make the second one, they had just did like Halloween, and then it was Halloween Season of the Witch and something, and they had said it was an anthology from the beginning.
right, yeah.
Gotcha.
Awesome. All right. I don't know, Ryan. Ryan, you got anything to add to that, or are we good to go?
I've never seen any of the Halloween movies.
I've never seen any movie out of Hollywood. I only watch Bollywood movies.
Why nobody likes you, Ryan?
Yeah, I know.
I like Ryan.
Aw.
Don't lie, Jeremiah.
That was kind of heartwarming and sounded legit.
That's probably the nicest thing anyone has ever said about me.
That's fucking sad. I'd kill myself if someone that said that was the nicest thing. I couldn't be too nice.
Moving on. So has anybody watched any of the Arrowverse shows besides me?
I've seen one season of Flash, and I'm not caught up on Arrow, but I like them. I just can't find time to sit and watch. I wish they were 30-minute shows, is what I'm trying to say.
I see.
Like the promise that I made, I have started on the Flash, and I'll be starting. What I'm gonna do is I'm trying to watch them according to what I read online was the mixing point, so I'm right on time on the mixing of the storylines,
Gotcha.
so I can watch them together. So I'm gonna do season 1 of the Flash, season 1 of the Arrow, but I am in the middle of episode 3, season 1.
Okay. And Zach, you're just not a DC person, so.
No, I mean, I like the shows. I just don't really like the films too much, but like usually when I watch a show, I mean, Arrow was okay at first, but then it just bored the hell out of me. But then Flash came along, and I did like that. I just didn't really find the time for it, so I just kind of stopped. But
Cool. All right. So if everybody's cool with this, I'm just going to run through all the news from the Arrowverse shows. And since you guys are not caught up, I'm just going to talk about it real quick. And is that cool?
Yeah.
Okay, just so I can mention it. And for some reason, the CW decided, I mean, it's always been called Arrowverse, and the CW, everybody's always called it that because, Arrow started the whole thing. Now there's like 5, 6 shows or whatever. But now CW decided at Comic-Con to call it CW-verse. I'm not calling it that. I'm calling it Arrowverse because why, after 8 years, would you all of a sudden want to put a name on it, call it something completely different that no one else calls it? It's
because Arrow's ending, that's why.
That's still weird. Why did you just not call it the whole time? It's just weird to me. But anyway, CW-verse, I guess we'll go with that. Quick points here. That every one of them had, or most of them had, panels at Comic-Con. They've released sizzle reels. You can look up more information of these. They were all really good and stuff. So these are the current seasons. I got news bits for each one of them. Supergirl. The Supergirl, to take note from this, is she's got a new costume. She's switching from the skirt to she's going to have a full pants and stuff like that in her new suit. It looks pretty good. Good news excited for me is that Lex is coming back, played by John Cryer, and he's coming back this season. He was not supposed to come back in the show after this past season for reasons. And I was real hesitant about his casting whenever it happened, but God, he is an amazing Lex Luthor. So I'm really excited that they're bringing Lex back. And cool, I got you, bud.
That's the guy from 2.5 Men, right? Yeah, so that's the actor from 2.5 Men.
Yeah.
Uh, he's coming back to
Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry
play
about that.
Lex Luthor.
Yeah, it is from 2.5 Men. I'm totally sorry about that.
I never
Let's see.
apologize for parenting.
Yeah. Let's see. Moving on from that, but yeah, it is the John Cryer from 2.5 Men, and he is absolutely fantastic in the role of Lex. Moving on to Flash. Flash season 6. They're actually splitting Flash this season. It's not really split, but they said it's kind of in a way that they kind of half the season in two before the Infinite Crisis on Infinite Earths crossover, which I've mentioned before on the show, and then afterwards. And they've kind of viewing it as two separate graphic novels. And so there's a main villain in before the crisis, and then there's a main villain after the crisis. We don't know what's happening after crisis, but what they've said about that we've seen so far pre-Crisis on Infinite Earths is that the villain, his name is Bloodwork. He was created actually just in 2017, so just a couple years ago in comic books. So he's a relatively new character. He has the power to manipulate people's blood and stuff like that. And he's played by the guy who played Mohinder Suresh in Heroes. So the whole season 6 sizzle trailer is narrated by him. And so really excited about that because I really liked Mohinder in Heroes. So excited about that and excited to have a new villain that, relatively new. So that's exciting. Batwoman is the new show. First season's coming out this fall. So already was excited about that because Ruby Rose is fantastic in playing Kate Kane as Batwoman, which we saw in the Elseworlds crossover last year. But what's really excited about this, and I said this earlier, and is that the main villain for Batwoman is going to be Hush. He's going to be in the shadows most of the time, dealing with working behind the scenes, but you're going to see the mystery unfold in the season 1. And whenever asked about will this lead to Batman coming in the show, because Batman and Hush, they're kind of connected in a way. And as I said, I don't want to get really into Hushes because of the Batman Hush movie. As far as identity goes, but they kind of go hand in hand. So you really got to have Batman. And they said, we can't rule it out, but it's really up to Warner Brothers. I feel like eventually we're going to get Batman in the CW verse. So that's pretty exciting that we're going to, but I'm super excited about Hush. Arrow's the final season's coming up. It's only 10 episodes leading up to Crisis on Infinite Earths. And then Arrow will be ending. Last season, they started some flash forwards of stuff that happens in the future, and they're going to be continuing those this next season, which is pretty good because it's a really good storyline. I hope that branches off and becomes its own show. So exciting stuff about that. And then lastly, on the CW verse is the big Crisis on Infinite Earths crossover, which I've talked about, little news about it before. But something that they've said is that they're bringing back Brandon Routh, Superman, from Superman Returns. You guys remember that movie? It came out. Mm-hmm. So that Brandon Routh, he plays on the Legends of Tomorrow show. He plays the Atom. Well, on the Crisis on Infinite Earths, they're bringing him back because Crisis on Infinite Earths is about the multiverse, and you're going to see all these different versions of different heroes and stuff. They're bringing him back as Superman. It's going to be the Kingdom Come version of Superman, which is a very important graphic novel, Elseworlds tale in DC Comics history. And so it's pretty exciting that we're getting not only Brandon Routh as Superman, but getting the Kingdom Come version of Superman. So exciting about that. Another small addition to that is Burt Ward, who played Robin in the Adam West Batman series, is going to be playing a role in the Crisis on Infinite Earths. They haven't said what that role is, so maybe he'll be Robin. We don't really know, but that would be really cool if he was Robin, and just to hear him say, "Holy smokes, Batman!" That would be so cool for me. Sure for other nerds out there. But those are the quick notes to just for each thing. Sorry that I had to go away for a second there.
I just want to point out that you just got done saying that you were going to continue to call it the Arrowverse, and then you called it the CW verse.
Yeah, well, because Zach said because Arrow ending, so I kind of just went with it and just continued going on. Whatever, CW verse, Arrowverse, same thing. So I was just taking in what Zach said and made it logical. It made logical sense then, so I didn't really think about it. So this next bit of news here, I don't know anything about it, so I'm gonna literally let you guys talk about it. And that is Rick and Morty was renewed for season 5, and they showed the first clip from season 4 at the Comic-Con. And which one of you guys wants to start about talking about this?
All right, so I actually want to do some clarification on that. Rick and Morty was renewed from season 3 for 7 more seasons. They already have, they've already been paid and contracted for 7 full seasons. The only thing they're doing right now is that they're only giving bits and details about season 4 and season 5. They released a snippet from what is supposed to be episode 4 of season 1, season 4, if I'm correct about that, where it's Rick and Jerry have apparently started an app that has taken the world by storm, and what evil the app is actually doing. But it looks like they're going to continue being just as stupidly funny as it has been for the first 3 seasons, and I'm super excited about it. I'm a huge fan of the show. I'm just glad that the creator of the show has gotten out of his social media funk that he was in, and has decided to get back out in public and be there for the fans.
Yeah, no, Rick and Morty is one of my favorite shows. I'm purposely not watching anything of it because I just want to see it as it comes. But I'm super excited for it, and that's all I got on that.
Same. I mean, yeah, and I haven't watched this clip yet either. So, but Rick and Morty is one of my favorite shows. It's below South Park for me, just but South Park's my all-time favorite show. But yeah.
Awesome, cool. And then we'll move on to the next news then. So the Orville is going to be making the move from Fox to Hulu for their season 3. There's really no, I didn't really see too much of an explanation on this. Zach, you may have to,
I believe I know the explanation of this. Fox had originally had the show on one night of the week, and then on season 2, they brought it to a different night of the week. And they lost a lot of their viewership on broadcast TV, but their Hulu plays were ridiculous. Like, so many people were watching the show on Hulu that Fox wasn't really making the money off of it that they needed to, but Hulu was making massive loads of money off of people watching it on Hulu.
Well, I know that Seth MacFarlane had said that the reason that he had mentioned was because of just budget-wise, and that it was like no love lost between them. And for one, really, it's Fox is owned by Disney now, and Hulu's owned by Disney, so really, it's still working for the same people if you think about it.
Yeah. It's not much of a transition for them, but it's just they have other things that they can put in the current time slot that it's in and make more money off of from broadcast TV. They're just not getting the return back off of it from Fox.
They can be more uncensored too.
Yes.
And it can be
And
better budget because Hulu shows, I've noticed that I've started watching some Hulu shows, and they're really good, especially because me and Jeremiah, I know we're both watching. You probably already finished season 1 of Veronica Mars, right, Jeremiah?
I mean, we finished the new season.
Yeah. You can tell that the budget is way better than stuff they've done before. It's almost like almost movie quality type budget in a sense.
Oh yeah, the shots were beautiful. I mean, everything was great.
So I think the overall for Orville season 3, it's gonna look way more fantastic than the previous seasons. Though season 2 was amazing. And so,
all right, guys. I for all the viewer listeners and stuff, I'm gonna let them know I'm hosting a charity event tonight, and I actually have to go because I have to bring my big sound system there. So real quick, I know I'm not supposed to talk about stuff not on the list, but the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation, make sure you donate. It's a really good cause for a big group of people who need a lot of financial help and a lot of assistance in life. And make sure you donate. Make sure you hit up their webpage or their Facebook page and send a donation their way. They really need it. And but I've unfortunately got to go because I've got to go ahead and get set up for tonight.
Cool, man. It's all good.
Love you guys, and keep it good stuff.
All right.
Wow.
You leave us again.
I'll see you all later.
Later. All right. So, does anyone else want to add anything to the Orville?
I don't.
No.
I haven't watched enough to add anything. It's one of those shows where I started and then just kind of drifted away from it.
You should really pick up season 2. It's so far different than season 1 as far as I think quality of storytelling and stuff, and I think you would really like it. But let's move on though. This is real quick. I'm just gonna get through this. I'm gonna do just this like the CW shows because I don't think that you guys watch DC Universe like I do. So just gonna quick tidbits on here. DC Universe news, they had a panel and stuff like that. So a lot of news came out of that. Doom Patrol just got confirmed for a season 2. And why this one is more significant to me, well, Doom Patrol is an amazing show, and I've talked about it before, and I think everybody should watch it. What was cool about this, and we had mentioned this, it's also going to be, not only will it be on DC Universe, but it will also be on the HBO Max, which is the Warner Brothers streaming service. So what they're doing, Jeremiah, is they're going to have it together. So DC Universe will still exist with HBO Max.
Okay. Yeah, that's kind of what I thought would happen. Yeah.
Yeah, so they will have the shows, put them out on both streaming services. So, yeah, because that was one of the things we had talked about when we talked about HBO Max was what was going to happen to the streaming services that we watched some of the things on. And all I know is that the DC Universe app will still be a thing and that shows will be on both of them. So pretty cool on that, which should be good for maybe budget-wise. You'll get more of a budget. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, though. Other tidbits from that. Young Justice got renewed for a season 4, which is awesome news for me. Titans season 2 is going to be debuting on September 6th. They showed at the con the first looks at Superboy and Aqualad and Deathstroke. Unfortunately, I've only seen like people's pictures that they took because they didn't release anything publicly from it. But from what I've seen, I'm pretty excited. Superboy's Connor Kent's a huge. I really like that character, so I'm really excited to see that in Titan season 2. And then the Harley Quinn animated series, we got our first look at that. I don't know if y'all guys saw that like a minute and a half trailer that they showed for the Harley Quinn animated series or not.
I haven't kept up with any of the DC news. So
the trailer, it's very adult. The Kelly Kuko or whatever her name is from Big Bang Theory is doing the voice of Harley Quinn, which I could leave it or not. I don't really care either way on that. But it's very adult, this Harley Quinn animated series, which I think comes out this fall. They released, like a little trailer for publicly, but they showed the first episode at the con. They said the F-bomb was dropped 21 times in the first episode. I was like, Jesus Christ. I mean, that's kind of a lot, but whatever. But yeah, that is all the DCU news. And now we're going to kick it over to Zach. Zach, we got a bunch of Walking Dead news during Comic-Con as well, right?
Yeah, I guess we got the season 10 trailer. I mean, I don't really care a whole lot about Walking Dead anymore, but it's like a car accident on the side of the road. You just can't stop watching it, and that's just kind of how I am with The Walking Dead now. But the season 10 trailer actually kind of did look a little interesting, and the last season 9, it got a little better for me. But and then I guess the actress who plays Michonne is leaving after the season, and Rick Grimes, who Andrew Lincoln plays, is going to come to theaters. I thought it was going to be just an AMC movie, but I guess it's actually coming to theaters. And I think Michonne is going to be in those movies too. It's supposed to be a trilogy, I think.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be a trilogy. But they did confirm that those are coming to theaters, which I thought was pretty cool. So, as well. So, but so the season 10 trailer, did it make you more interested in watching it, or you're just gonna watch it anyway just because?
I mean, yeah, it looked interesting, and like I said, season 9 was one of the more better seasons of like the past 5 seasons or so. So I'm interested to see where it goes, and hopefully it isn't boring like it has been before season 9. So
yeah. You watch Walking Dead, Jeremiah?
I stopped after the first part of the Negan stuff with once Steven Yeun left the show, or I guess was killed off. I guess that's not a spoiler anymore.
I think I left right before that.
Yeah. But yeah, it got to the point where I was like, there are more new characters than original ones, and I kind of faded from it.
Yeah. The season leading up to before Negan, like Negan's at the end of this season where I stopped watching. I'm pretty certain he comes in the last episode, but I just couldn't get through that season because it was just such a drag, and like I don't know, like even the season before that was kind of a drag, and it kind of had to force myself through it, and then I was like, no, I can't do it. I think I only watched like 5 episodes of, I think it was like season 6, 7, whatever. I don't know what it was.
Yeah.
And it was after the governor and stuff, and it was like, I just can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was like, what? Just kill me. I was like, at that point, I was just like, I just want a zombie to kill me at this point. Just bite me. Just end me. Let's do this.
Yeah.
Whenever I saw that Michonne was leaving, I think I sent it to Zach, and I said, I mean, who hasn't left this show? So even the viewers have left this show. So I mean, so it was some joke like that. But anyways, who knows? I had heard good things about that second half of season 9, but I don't think I have the ability to power through to get to that though.
Yeah.
Maybe I could just watch it from there. Just this is where I'm at.
It might be at the point to just start anywhere and it still be okay.
I mean, there is a huge time jump in season 9. Like it goes.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like whenever after
7
Rick
years or so. So yeah, after Rick dies, or not dies, but he gets taken away. Yeah, like time jumps like 7 years. So I mean, I guess you could start from there because it's basically a new story, like a new thing going forward, I guess.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's move on to this last bit here that we have. And when I say last bit, I really mean it's a bit, because it literally, we could have made a whole show based off of just this if we really got into depth on everything that was announced, because this is the MCU panel where we got a cuss ton of information. I mean, it was just God, the amount of projects that were announced for the next 2 years. We got all the Phase 4 projects were announced in detail and stuff, and you getting it's 10 projects spread throughout the year 2020 and 2021, 2 years of and just so what we're gonna do is we're gonna start here, and I guess I'll just give some details and just think what everybody thinks about it. So we'll start with Black Widow. That's your first release, May 1st, 2020. Good things, some just minor details about it. Taskmaster is going to be the villain. David Harbour is playing, was it Red Guardian, Zach? Is that his name, his character?
Yeah, Red Guardian.
Yeah, Russian superhero, I think. So I'm pretty excited. This is set between, set between Civil War and, it's either set between Winter Soldier and Civil War, or set between Civil War and the Infinity War. I know it's set between two.
It's after the Avengers.
I can't remember. I know it's set between one of the Captain America movies and another one.
Oh. Oh.
Because they said Captain America. I can't remember if they said Winter Soldier or Captain America Civil War. Either way, it's set after one of them. I could be wrong though. It could be set between Avengers and Captain America Civil War. It's a pretty cool movie. Basically, that's what you want to get out of it. What are your thoughts, Zach, about the movie? Are you excited about it, or is it a pass for you?
I'm excited. I mean, as far as the Black Widow character goes in the MCU timeline, I don't think the character has really been fleshed out enough, and to me, she's just not that interesting of a character like in the MCU. And I think that's one of the reasons like I didn't really care that much when she died. Like it was just kind of like okay, but hopefully, I mean, her character will be fleshed out a little bit more, and then we'll learn more about her past and stuff. I'm excited for Taskmaster, and then maybe after I watch this, I'll care when she dies in Endgame.
You'll be like, what? Then you'll watch Endgame on home release, and you'll be like, really upset about it.
Yeah.
Jeremiah, you have any thoughts on it?
Just kind of as a whole for the entire MCU current plan line is like, I'm just going to have to take it as it comes because there's so freaking many of them. And it's going to be interesting to see where they go and how each character plays in. But I'm excited and also hesitant because it's like there's so many movies, what's going to be the duds. So I'm going to see them all, but I'm going in very open-ended to it on how I feel.
Yeah, for sure. That's a good way to look at it, too. So, I really don't know. I guess I'm going to agree with most of Zach. Black Widow hasn't been fleshed out enough, but I guess we're going to get it in this movie. And so, I guess I'm kind of excited about it, but I really don't care too much. I mean, I'm going to see it, but I don't know. What I am excited about is the second project. It's one of the ones I'm most excited about, and that's the Falcon and Winter Soldier coming. It's on Disney Plus because now they're going to be MCU will also have shows on Disney Plus, which I'm excited about because you could tell more of a story in these 8 episodes. And plus, if they get a budget like The Mandalorian got, they're going to have like movie quality anyway, but you're going to get 8 episodes of it. So it's pretty exciting for me, these Disney Plus shows. I don't think some people that are like, oh, no, man, we got to watch stupid Disney Plus shows now. And I'm like, you do realize that you can get better storytelling through a 8-episode series than you can get in a movie.
Yeah, and these are basically going to be movie quality. So it's going to be like you're watching a MCU film. I feel like I think that's the quality they're going for. And it's Disney. Like, they're not going to hold back, I don't think, on their streaming service.
Right, and if they gave Star Wars The Mandalorian of a budget of what they did, I can't remember exactly what that budget was. I mean, I think you've mentioned it before, Jeremiah.
Yeah.
And if they gave Star Wars, which is their second big one, a big budget like that, I think that they're going to take care of Marvel, seeing as Marvel was a $4 billion investment and has already earned them $18 billion.
Yeah,
So,
Marvel's their money maker.
That's where their money is.
Star Wars makes them money, but not as much as Marvel. So
yeah, I'm excited about the Falcon and Winter Soldier. Anthony Mackie said that he's going to be wearing a Captain America suit and have the shield in the series. I'm excited about that. What I'm really most excited about, though, is you guys know that what my beef with Civil War movies, I've said before, with the Captain America Civil War was the mishandling of Baron Zemo. And they're bringing Baron Zemo back for Falcon and Winter Soldier, and he's going to have the actual Baron Zemo costume, and comic accurate costume. Super excited about that. We're going to see him be actual Baron Zemo, and I'm so excited about that, and I'm excited about the show. I'm sure there's going to be some shield tossing back and forth between Falcon and Winter Soldier. I don't even know if at the end of it, if Winter Soldier may end up with the shield by the end of it. You never know what will come of it. Because, I mean, it's 8 episodes. Who knows what will happen? So, I'm excited about it. Anybody else have anything else to add to that? Or
Not particularly, no.
Cool. All right. The third one, which I really don't know anything about, and I really don't have too much to say on it. It's the Eternals. It comes out November 6, 2020. I don't know anything about the Eternals. I know that Thanos is an Eternal, like he's ancestors are the Eternals, correct? Believe that.
Yeah, his I know his the Deviants, I think. His race is supposed to be in there. I don't know if Thanos himself will be in there, but I know his race will be in the film.
Yeah. But yeah, so he is basically along down the road from the Eternals in a sense. So, like you said, not necessarily him, but he comes from that line. They got a bunch of big people named in this movie, though. They got Angelina Jolie, Salma Hayek. That was just a couple of the names I remember. Of course, they're women names. But they got a lot of big people in this movie. And so this is the one that I'm kind of iffy about, because this is one that I feel like could flop, just mainly because I don't know anything about it. But you never know, because, I mean, I'm sure people said the same thing about Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, you did, didn't you?
No, I don't remember anything. I don't know. I have to go back and look at our conversations. I don't ever remember saying anything about that. Because I didn't know anything about Guardians of the Galaxy.
No, I said you didn't think it was going to do good or something.
Who knows? Maybe could have. I don't know. Jeremiah, is this one of those projects that you're kind of iffy about, that you don't know about as well, or?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's just all of this whole Marvel lineup. It's just so many. Now that this is a new phase, it's just kind of like the phase 1. It's just all of it. I got to go in with a new mindset, even though I know the characters.
Yeah. It is a lot because there's a lot of new people coming in, and we're setting up a new Avenger teams and stuff like this in this phase. So I mean, it is.
Yeah,
a lot.
this is just so hard for me to talk about, and a lot of it just comes from a writing standpoint of like I know I'm gonna love watching the Marvel stuff on screen, but I'm just so open about what they're gonna do with the story as far as their version of Phase 4.
Yeah. Zach, did you have anything to add? Are we good to move?
Good.
Cool. The next project, February 12th, 2021, we're going to get the movie Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. I don't think even you know anything about Shang-Chi, Zach.
I don't know anything about it.
I don't know. The only thing notable from this that I took was the real Mandarians coming from this.
Mandarin,
whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know too much. I know he was like, used a lot in like the 80s, and he's also trained some like superheroes. Like I know he trained Spider-Man some and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't really know too much. I'm excited that the Mandarin's gonna be the real Mandarin. It's gonna be introduced because the only time he's really been like referenced was in the All Hail the King one shot. So
yeah, which I mean, not everybody's seen that.
Yeah. So
hey, I'm gonna run to the bathroom. I'll be right back.
Okay, cool. But yeah, so that's pretty cool that we're getting that. But it's really cool to get the first Asian American superhero on film, as far as MCU goes. So that's pretty good to be for diversity. So, but moving on to the next one, if that's cool, is WandaVision, the next Disney Plus show. It's coming spring 2021. This is going to I understand it says WandaVision, and Vision's currently not around, but apparently he's going to come back in some way. So I'm not for sure exactly how that is going to work. I know that's set in the 1950s somehow. I guess there's going to be some type of time traveling, and then also Monica Rambeau is going to be introduced in this. I think her superhero name is Spectrum, I believe, in comic books. She was in the Avengers No Road Home thing that I just read, but Spectrum she's a pretty big character now in Marvel, current Marvel comic book wise. So excited to see her, and both of those, Scarlet Witch and Monica Rambeau, are supposed to be in the next project that we'll be talking about. But do you have anything to add about WandaVision, Zach?
Not really. I mean, I think it'll be pretty interesting. I'm just excited for the next film that's we're about to talk about.
Cool.
Which is Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness.
May 7th, 2021. Filling that May slot that Marvel likes to use so much. And I think this one is going to be cool because, as I said, Scarlet Witch and Monica Rambeau are supposed to be in this. Scarlet Witch is supposed to be playing a big part in it, which is good because of her reality bending powers, and she's not just thrown in there just because, some of the hate that I've seen on Twitter and stuff like that. I mean, it totally makes sense for her to be in this Multiverse of Madness movie. I think really what would be good for what you'll like about it is that it's the first ever MCU horror movie.
Yeah, that's what I was excited about.
That'll be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I like about Marvel films is they can do stuff like that. Like Ant-Man, is like a heist film and like so on. You know what I mean? And like what Captain America is like. I can't think of the name, but like each Marvel film has like their own genre to it, which makes
almost
it all interesting, I think.
Yeah, like Winter Soldier was a political thriller,
Yeah, and like Guardians of the Galaxy is like a space opera, and then it's just I don't know. Every Marvel film seems to have like its own genre, which is what I always thought was pretty cool.
Yeah. Jeremiah, are you excited about this one too, or I mean, because this is
I'm
set
pumped
characters.
for them all. Yeah, I'm pumped for them all.
Right. Yeah. I know you that you are. I was just wondering if this one, because I mean, just being new character stuff that you said about it, and is this one easier to think of it going into because
Oh, absolutely.
the
Yeah,
established characters.
Yeah, it'll be a lot easier to. I know I'm going to regret saying it when I go see it, but it's like it'll be more of a I know what I'm going to see, but then at the same time I'm sure I'll be surprised.
Yeah, I'm excited if it being multiverse, if we're going to see different iterations of other characters,
Yeah.
So that would be kind of cool if we can see different versions, like ultimate versions of characters and stuff, and just different things. I'm just excited to see what this movie is going to be involved, because it's going to be kind of great. I know it's going to be crazy. It's going to be a crazy movie, but I'm super ready for it.
Oh yeah.
It's probably the most exciting thing on this list, I think, for me. It's just potential of what could be in the movie, which is weird because I'm not like a huge Doctor Strange fan. I like Scarlet Witch, but just what.
I'm just really excited they're introducing the multiverse for real.
Yeah.
Oh
right?
yeah, and to really bring because it was a great introduction to pull it off of how they've already kind of teased it. Like I said, I hadn't seen Far From Home yet, but I know that's going to get a lot more into it. But just from the trailer to be this is the point that they bring it in, and then for it to actually come to fruition, it will be awesome.
For sure. Next is another Disney Plus show coming in spring of 2021 as well, and that is Loki. And it's been confirmed that this is the Loki that's in game whenever they go to get the Tesseract, and then they boggle it, and that Loki grabs the Tesseract and disappears. This is the alternate reality Loki. So I'm super excited. I mean, plus for one, you can't do MCU stuff without Loki, I think. It's like they realized that. They killed him off Infinity War, but I mean, I'm sure they had plans of doing this all along. But I mean, what is dude's name that plays him?
Tom Hiddleston.
He's so good.
And by the way, I don't know if you know this, but I just got a message from Jeremiah, and he said his Wi-Fi crashed, so he's not here right now.
Oh, okay. No, I did not know that. I see that it says Jeremiah left. Yeah. So I'm excited about the Loki show. Are you excited as well?
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. It'll be pretty interesting to see where they take that and where Loki decided to go and what he would have done if he did escape. So, pretty excited.
Should we wait on him? Okay. So he was really excited about talking about Loki and then Thor because he loves Norse mythology. And these are the two that he was waiting on the most. That sucks. That his Wi-Fi crashed. We can just continue, then go back to it.
If he comes back.
If he comes back. But anyway, let's move on if that's cool. Do we have anything else to add about Loki?
I don't think so.
Cool, but excited to see the alternate reality and see if that's going to bring Loki back into the main universe. Next is another Disney Plus show coming out the summer of 2021, and that is What If? And this is different tales of from Marvel, and it's animated, all narrated by the Watcher, and everybody is going to be doing their voices from the MCU actors and actresses and stuff. And so we're going to be getting animated versions of different things of like basically I don't really know how to describe this, Zach. What if is it's basically alternate takes, I guess, in a way, right? Alternate takes of stories.
Basically, like an alternate take, or like I guess it could just be an alternate timeline or something like that. But
yeah,
that's cool that they're playing themselves. I didn't know that the actors are playing the voices.
Yeah, they had like there's a picture that I saw of like on the screen, and it was like 40 different people from the MCU, and it was they're going to be voicing their characters in the animated What If series. So that's pretty exciting. I know you had said something about why this is part of Phase 4, and you know, because it's
at first I didn't understand why they put it in with Phase 4, but now I guess I kind of get it.
Yeah, because it is a bunch of alternate takes. It's nothing. It's nothing new in a sense that's going to stick. Wise, it's not like a new show or something like that because it's alternate reality stuff. But I think the one thing, as I just told you this in message, that I think from this is that it is going to the Watcher, which is going to be narrating the stuff and in them. I think that's what you're going to get mostly from this. So
the Watchers too were they were seen in live action in the end credit scenes too. Might have been Guardians of the Galaxy.
Was it Guardians of the Galaxy 2 when Stan Lee was
one
of the Watchers?
Talking to the Watchers, yeah. And he was like one of them or something.
Yeah.
And they actually have the other Watchers with their big ass heads and shit.
Right. So, but I think though that the Watcher will come back, and so I think this will lead to Fantastic Four and stuff like that.
Like in the comics, like the Watcher's supposed to be there for like really big events that happen.
Yeah. All right, moving on to the next one is Hawkeye. It's coming out fall 2021. Another Disney Plus show. I'm excited about this, just because it's set. It's set after Endgame, and it's bringing Kate Bishop into the MCU. And what's excited about that is because I really feel like we're going to get a new Avengers movie one day, or Young Avengers or whatever. And and so having Kate Bishop is kind of necessary. Jeremy Renner will be in it, training Kate Bishop to be the new Hawkeye, and we'll also get to see stuff from his time as Ronin, apparently as well. But I'm really excited about Kate Bishop, huge Kate Bishop fan, and so adding these new characters, and hopefully this will lead, as I said, into Young Avengers. We'll get Iron Lad from the kid from Iron Man 2 or 3, whatever. Yeah. 3, whichever 2 it was, whatever one it was.
Yeah.
And how he was at the end of Endgame. Maybe he'll end up becoming Iron Lad. Maybe his daughter from the future will come and be somebody. We'll get maybe Cassie Lang will end up becoming Stature. We'll get Kate Bishop being Hawkeye. Maybe some other. Maybe get a Hulkling and maybe I don't remember Wanda's Scarlet Witch and Vision's kid. But I'm pretty sure they have one as well. But yeah, I'm excited what this will. I feel like with it specifically coming near the end of Phase 4, I feel like Kate Bishop is going to play a role more in Phase 5, and which I'm sure the team will be led by Spider-Man. But I really feel like we're going to end up getting the Young Avengers because of just stuff that they're bringing. Like, I feel like they will probably they have Monica Rambeau coming in, right, as Spectrum. They will probably make her young, because I haven't seen anybody of her who's going to be cast as her, who's going to be her, or anything like that. So I feel like she'll probably be young too. So they're going to have like a bunch of young people.
Speaking of, I mean, this is a little, I mean, it's kind of on topic, but a little off topic. Is I was wondering if they would ever bring. She wouldn't be part of the Young Avengers, but Mockingbird, which is, I believe that's Barton's wife, Hawkeye's wife. Eventually becomes the hero known as Mockingbird.
I know they had a Mockingbird in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. It was her name was Bobby Monroe or some. I don't remember exactly what her name was. It wasn't Hawkeye's wife though.
Yeah, her name in the canon is also Bobby, but her last name is Barton. So I don't know.
Maybe she in the comic book she does become Hawkeye's wife, but I know there was a Mockingbird in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. at one point. It was played by the girl from the Orville.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, but as I said, it doesn't seem like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is connected anymore. So, I mean, they could end up doing their own Mockingbird. So, who knows? Last thing for the MCU that was announced for Phase 4 is that Thor 4, which had been kind of announced a few days before that, because what's the dude's director's name?
Taka Waka.
Talkie Walkie or whatever his name is.
Walkie Talkie.
Walkie Talkie. Talkie Walkie. Taki Walkie. I don't know. I'm stupid.
He plays what's his face too.
Korg.
Korg, yeah, he plays Korg.
Yeah. Anyway, he plays Korg. He's the director of Thor. Thor: Love and Thunder, coming out November 5th, 2021. Significant things from this to take is that Valkyrie's the king of Asgard. She needs a queen. I don't know if her queen is going to be Jane Foster as Thor, but Jane Foster's coming back. Natalie Portman's coming back, which is weird because I thought they had like a falling out. So whenever that it got announced that we're getting the female Thor, Jane Foster's coming back, or Natalie Portman's coming back to be Jane Foster to be the female Thor, I was really super surprised at that because I thought that Natalie Portman had a falling out with Marvel.
Yeah, I don't know what happened with that.
Because I thought that's why she wasn't in like another movie. I can't remember where they just talked about her and they didn't actually show her. And I understand that she was in Endgame, but that was actually her part was deleted scenes from Thor: The Dark World.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, I'm wondering where they're going to take it because obviously it's based in New Asgard, which takes place on Earth. So I'm wondering like if they're going to go anywhere else or like if it's going to take place on Earth or I don't know.
Who knows? And in the comic version of the Unworthy Thor, where Jane Foster becomes Thor, Thor becomes unworthy to carry Mjolnir. And so I'm just kind of wondering if they're still going to do that, if they're going to do something different, or of how she becomes Thor. I don't know what they're going to do, because though they haven't done him being unworthy, he thought he would be unworthy in Endgame because, he didn't have the hammer, and then once he got the hammer, he called it, and he's like, I'm still worthy, but because there was that whole conversation where he thought in his head because he killed Thanos that he wasn't worthy anymore, but he ended up still being worthy because he had a conversation with his mom and everything. So are they going to do that, or will they do something completely different? Because if they do that, Marvel, the MCU, does stuff completely different than comic book storylines. So I'm just anxious to see more and what it's going to be different,
Right.
and how they do that, how she becomes Thor. So I don't know. Maybe they won't even have him becoming unworthy. Maybe she just somehow becomes worthy, and so they both can wield the hammer. I don't know.
Well, I mean,
But something has to happen because Captain America wielded the hammer and he didn't become Captain Thor. So
well, Thor, the current Thor, has his axe. So
yeah, he already has Stormbreaker, which in the comics, after he becomes unworthy, that's how he got Stormbreaker, right?
yeah,
But
so
wasn't also Stormbreaker? No, wasn't Stormbreaker's originally Beta Ray Bill's?
well, yeah, the original weapon. I mean, the original wielder of Stormbreaker was Beta Ray Bill.
I don't know what else to say, but they better get Beta. They need Beta Ray Bill in this freaking movie.
They teased him. They teased him in the Contest of Champions. They had his head on the statue.
Yeah, no, I saw that in Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Please just bring in Beta Ray Bill. We just need Beta Ray Bill. That's all.
Need a freaking humanoid horse, ugly ass motherfucker to fuck people up. That's all we need, right? So Marvel, if you're listening, we need a crazy horse wielding hammer fucker. Yeah.
Hammer wielding horse, man. You said horse wielding hammer. I was like, what? He's a hammer that holds a horse? Guys, but there's your Phase 4 lineup. And going in, they had said that we thought we were going to get a 5-year timeline, which apparently Kevin Feige said after this in an interview that they could have given us a 5-year timeline because they have Phase 5 all the way planned out as well, with like the movies and directors and all that junk and stuff. But they wanted just to focus on Phase 4 because they had so much to go into, and so they decided to just put all their time into Phase 4. But Phase 5, one project that they really kind of talked a little bit about was Blade is getting rebooted. I don't know if it's a movie or a series yet, but
it's a movie, they said.
It's a what?
It's a movie, they said.
Oh, it is a movie? They said it? I couldn't ever find like a confirmation on that.
Yeah, it's a new movie.
But Blade will be playing by what's his first name? Marshala Ali?
Something like that. His name's actually a lot longer, but he shortened it.
Anyway, amazing Oscar-winning actor. He played Cottonmouth in Luke Cage, and he does the voice of Uncle Aaron in Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. So this is his third Marvel project, which made me think that they're really not going to be counting the MCU Netflix anymore. They're seen as they've cast the same actor in something. But who knows? And they said that Kevin Feige said that they had thought about doing Blade, and then Marshall Ali, we'll just call him Ali, called them up and said, "Look, man, we're doing Blade, and I'm going to be Blade." And they're like, "Okay." So that's pretty much how it happened. They said, because he said, "Listen, you don't say no to him." And so he said, "This is what we're doing. So we're doing Blade with him." So I thought that was pretty freaking awesome. That literally they had thought about it, but there was discussions of it, but they hadn't reached out to him. But he reached out to them and told them, "This is what we're doing. We're doing Blade. You guys are going to do Blade. I'm going to be Blade." And they're like, "Yes, sir." I was like, because they're like, you just can't say no to him. So it's not. I was like, because he is Blade? Like, is that what you're telling me? He is Blade, so you can't say no to him because he is Blade in real life? I don't know. Super exciting about it, though. Are you excited about Blade being redone and him being Blade?
Yeah, definitely. I'm definitely excited about a Blade being introduced into the MCU canon. And, yeah, so.
Yeah. other projects that were announced for season 5, or not for season 5, for phase 5 that they're going to do, but they didn't have any release dates for them. We're going to get a Black Panther 2, Guardians of the Galaxy 3, which we already knew about, Captain Marvel 2, Fantastic Four, and then they said they didn't have time to talk about the mutants. So obviously something X-Men related. I hope that they just call it the mutants.
Yeah,
That'd be really cool.
that's what everybody's thinking, that it's gonna. People think that he was hinting at that. That I don't have time to talk about the mutants, so he's like, that's the title of the film that's gonna come out.
Yeah. So,
But it would be interesting because like the X-Men probably obviously don't exist yet, so it's the mutants and they're getting introduced into this, and then after the mutants we could have like the X-Men or something like that.
yeah. I'm excited to see what happens. So. But yeah, so that's pretty much it, guys. It sucks that Jeremy, wow, slammed my door and everything. So excited to see what happens in the MCU future. Excited about all these projects. It's been a packed show. Sorry, Jeremiah, that your internet went down and you weren't here to talk about Thor and Loki because Norse mythology is your thing. We'll let you have some time to talk about that next week, I guess. But it's an exciting show all around. I want to thank everybody for listening for this 2-hour long, spending the past 2 hours with us, listening to us talk. And don't forget about our social media sites. You find us on Twitter, BBP for Real, Instagram, Blind Bandit Productions, Facebook.com/Blind Bandit Productions, website blindbanditproductions.com, YouTube.com/Blind Bandit Productions. Pretty much anywhere Blind Bandit Productions, social media wise. But yeah, and all the places you can listen to us. Go to our Facebook page. Make sure you leave us a review. Let us know how we're doing. Comment on the show. Let us know what you liked, what you didn't like, because we'd like to change things up a bit and make things better for you. If that's what you want us to do, if you're going to listen, take the time, then why not make the show better for you? So, but Zach, do you have anything else to add?
I don't think so.
Cool. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for listening, and we will be back here next week. Remember, #good stuff.
Hail Hydra.